Hello everyone, today let's discuss the topic, what will happen if humans try to terraform Mars into another Earth? Mars, the mysterious red planet, has always been a highlight in science fiction and a research focus for scientists over the past several decades. With its remarkable similarities in size, rotation cycle, and day-night duration, Mars has drawn the attention of humanity, with hopes that one day, we might transform it into a second home for mankind. However, if we attempt to terraform this planet into a second Earth, there will be numerous challenges we must overcome. So, what will happen if humans truly set out to terraform Mars? 1. Mars atmosphere. The first major challenge: Mars' atmosphere is currently very thin and primarily consists of carbon dioxide, which makes up 95%, with only small amounts of oxygen, 0.13%, and nitrogen, 2.7%. The most significant factor preventing Mars from supporting life like Earth is the lack of oxygen. With its thin atmosphere and the absence of a protective magnetic field, Mars is easily exposed to direct solar radiation, making the planet's surface an inhospitable environment. To create an atmosphere that humans could breathe in, we would need to alter the atmospheric composition and increase the amount of. Scientists have proposed several methods to create a greenhouse effect, which would raise the planet's temperature and help retain oxygen. One of the proposed hypotheses involves using high-tech means such as artificial photosynthesis plants or releasing greenhouse gases into the air to stimulate the warming of the planet. However, how to create a stable and thick atmosphere that can protect life from solar radiation remains an unsolved question. Another major challenge is creating a protective layer against ultraviolet radiation, which can destroy the cellular structure of living organisms. Projects such as generating an artificial magnetic field or building protective layers with modern technology could be feasible solutions, but the cost and time required to implement these ideas are still highly uncertain. 2. Temperature. Can we create a warm environment? Mars has an average temperature of around -60 degrees Celsius, making it a very cold planet compared to Earth. One of the key factors in successfully terraforming Mars is raising its temperature to allow water to exist in liquid form. Without liquid water, life cannot survive. Scientists are researching various methods to tackle this issue. One of the simplest yet effective ways is to use greenhouse gases such as methane or carbon dioxide to enhance the greenhouse effect, thereby warming the planet's surface. This could potentially lead to the melting of the ice caps at Mars' poles, creating an important source of water. However, maintaining a stable temperature long enough to keep water in liquid form remains a major challenge, as Mars' atmosphere is too thin to retain heat effectively over the long term. Another factor to consider is Mars' day-night cycle, which lasts about 24 hours and 40 minutes, very close to Earth's. This similarity would make it easier for humans to adapt to the rhythm of day and night. However, with extremely cold temperatures at night and heat during the day, we would need to build extremely complex and sustainable temperature control systems. 3. Building an ecosystem, agriculture and living organisms. Mars is currently a lifeless place due to its harsh conditions, and creating a sustainable ecosystem on this planet would be an incredibly difficult task. Earth has a rich and diverse ecosystem, but on Mars, the soil is not fertile enough for farming, and water is scarce. However, scientists are exploring ways to create fertile soil using the minerals already present in Martian soil. One possible solution is to use technologies such as mineral decomposition or employing microorganisms to convert nutrients from the soil and create a layer of earth that can support plant growth. Still, Maintaining fertile soil and ensuring the sustainable growth of plants on this planet remains a major challenge. In addition to soil, maintaining a reliable water supply is a critical factor. Based on current research, we can create closed-loop systems such as hydroponics or aeroponics, which allow farming without soil. However, these technologies are not yet sufficient to meet the demands of large-scale agriculture. The big question here is how to supply enough water and nutrients for plants, while still dealing with the extreme conditions of Mars. 4. Biological transformation, bringing Earth's life form to Mars. One of the main goals of terraforming Mars is to create a livable environment for humans and other Earth-based organisms. However, transferring Earth's ecosystem to another planet requires careful consideration of environmental factors. Animals and plants may not be able to adapt to Martian conditions, where there's weak sunlight, unstable temperatures, and an oxygen-poor atmosphere. Ongoing research is exploring how to introduce microorganisms, plants, and even animals to Mars in order to create an artificial ecosystem. However, even if we manage to develop an ideal living environment, the question of how to sustain a stable and self-sufficient ecosystem under Mars' limited and harsh conditions remains unanswered. 5. Technical challenges and costs. Terraforming Mars would require an enormous amount of resources and an unprecedented level of international cooperation. Developing the necessary technologies would take a great deal of time, from energy systems to heat the planet's surface to constructing protective shelters that shield humans from radiation. This endeavor not only demands vast financial resources but also calls for innovative breakthroughs in technologies that have never been tested before. The biggest challenge humanity faces is not just the survival of the project, but its astronomical cost. Projects like building artificial photosynthesis plants, generating a protective magnetic field, or even transporting large quantities of liquid water from elsewhere would require budgets far beyond the reach of most countries today. Conclusion: Mars, humanity's greatest dream or a cosmic warning? Terraforming Mars is no longer just a sci-fi fantasy. It is gradually becoming a scientific vision that could one day become reality, even if centuries from now. Turning a barren, freezing planet with no breathable air, no liquid water, and no signs of life into a second Earth is one of the boldest ambitions humanity has ever dared to imagine. But behind that ambition lie profound questions of survival, ethics, and cosmic responsibility. Are we truly capable of mastering an entire planet? Should we carry the same mistakes we made on Earth to a new world? And if we do succeed in transforming Mars, will we finally learn to cherish the only green planet where life once flourished so miraculously? The Mars ambition is perhaps the clearest measure of humanity's unyielding desire to survive and evolve. It symbolizes intelligence, the will to transcend boundaries, and the spirit of relentless exploration. At the same time, it serves as a powerful reminder: what we have on Earth, from breathable air and drinkable water to a thriving ecosystem, is the product of billions of years of natural evolution, and no technology can easily replicate or replace it. If one day, future generations can set foot on Mars not just as visitors, but as true residents, it would mark not only a triumph of science and technology, but also a testament to great vision and unwavering global cooperation. However, that dream will never come true unless humanity first learns to protect the vital values of life on our own home planet. Therefore, the journey to terraform Mars, distant as it may be, is not just a mission to reach a new world, but a profound exploration into the very essence of humanity. Who are we, what are we doing, and what legacy will we leave for the universe? Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications to catch all the latest and most exciting videos.